Welcome to today's Awakening Spiritual Gift Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Mountain. So we're excited to be here with you today, and we have some amazing questions, a couple of anonymous questions, another question that came in already. So it's cool to see the engagement and the enthusiasm around this show. So we thank you for sharing it with your friends, and also keep the questions coming. So before we get into those questions, though, let's go ahead and dive into the daily energy.
Yeah, I'm super curious about today. Let's see what's going on. Okay, one moment. Let's see. Okay, so yesterday I described kind of this almost a melting plastic bubbly look like that was going across the land, and it was kind of bubbling up some of these emotions or past things that we've been working through. And today I'm actually seeing some strands coming through that look a little bit, they remind me of like a cool river or stream that moves through a parched land. And so this is a really good sign. So this is like if you were feeling some of those things, and today is a day where then maybe some new solutions or possibilities or answers or even comfort or healing, whatever is whatever you are requiring at this moment for that, to be parched, and or to, if you're feeling parched, and to have that satisfied. What is it called? Like, I just feel like in my mouth. Like, I just keep wanting to say satisfied, quenched. That's the word. So if you've got something that you're just like, oh, I've just been like so dry and parched my mouth, and I just want it to be quenched, there is now a little river and strand of energy there that provides some of those answers for you. So just know that it's there, even if you're not feeling the full effects of it yet, and all of the truth and the answers that you're seeking, just knowing that they're there. And then you might even be feeling some of those like little pathways in the mind, like opening up to it. So it's really beautiful. It's kind of sparked with light and kind of a bluish tint and white. And it feels like it has some answers and some intelligence and some knowledge and wisdom in it, as well as like healing, and like basically it's like water, whatever you need is there. And then also, I remember looking at the hidden thing. So interesting. It's still just kind of like, so there was yesterday there was kind of a hidden thing that was, it was partly visible, but the reason why it was hidden was due to some of the future. Like it was something was going on determining what the next step in the future was going to be. And so right now I'm actually seeing that it was a little bit soothed. So whatever the intensity of it was is soothing over just a bit, which is good. It was kind of that duality, like a battle of duality. And so I was like, okay, what are the people going to do? What are the people going to choose? How can they work through things? And dependent on our choices and how much light and stuff we're working on ourselves, we're kind of adding to the collective healing and the collective vibration. So it looks like actually that the higher vibration won in this scenario. So it helped kind of roll. Right now I'm seeing it just kind of rolling. It's still kind of together, but the one is rolling over the other. And just making it less like healing or soothing that intensity there. Also too, I'm seeing, feels like there's some new, with that now on the move, I'm seeing some information, I want to say instructions, actually. They're kind of coming in from behind. So I really do think that we're going to be subconsciously receiving some very like specific, like heavenly or divine downloads, and in the form of instructions. So if you've been seeking and like, what do I do? You want some instructions? That's what that is. But they're going to be very subtle, especially the way that I see them coming into the backs and into the head. It could be like connecting to, like, if you think about just even if somebody was to put something right here, you might not be aware of it. Your body subconscious would be aware of it, but you wouldn't be like absolutely aware of it. and it might just require a little bit of time to come up from the back and then move to the front. So just to be aware of that, but that it's a good thing, and that just to have faith in that knowledge and knowing that you have what it takes, and there's answers and there's solutions and there's healing. There's all these amazing things that are available to you.
Really cool. All right. Well, let's jump into our first question. So we have Emily. She wrote in, she said, I'm curious what you'd see in my intuitive gifts that are currently opening up for me.
Hey, Emily. Yeah, let's look at this. The first thing I see are your eyes. So it seems like there's more in your eyes. Very specifically, the patterns that I'm seeing in the eyes here are almost a next level of discernment. I want to say it's discernment and gifted with eyes of truth and even reality. So in the past, I can almost see that you have had maybe you've had a very optimistic outlook on life, and maybe just like wished for the good in others and just tried to see the positive in all things. And this gift of discernment that I'm seeing is bringing some of the truth of it. And the truth can sometimes mean that it's not all like rosy. Like you can also see the challenges and the pain points. You can see the light and the dark. So I feel like you had abilities already in your eyes with light, and now you can discern better and being able to see the dark more. This could by chance even feel a little bit, it could even feel a little depressing at times and go like, why am I being pessimistic because I'm seeing these other things and they're now in my awareness. And that absolutely, I mean, you can just imagine like if all of a sudden these things are part of your focus on your view, then you might think that something's not working right, but it is actually working right. And it's not that we have to be connected or react to any of the darkness that we see, but it's just a matter of learning from it and discerning it and how to work through it. It's going to be a huge gift in, hold on, there's also something coming in through the throat. But it's also a way to serve others at a higher level. Like positive, happy motivation is beautiful and great, but sometimes that can only go so far. Having this higher level of discernment, being able to see both sides, you can speak into it and help a person avoid something or see something that maybe they cannot see as a warning or preventative, or helping them to work around it and heal something. So that's pretty cool. And then also, so I'm going to look at the throat because that was pretty loud there for a minute. Okay, and I am seeing some increase of energy through your voice and your throat. It does feel like it's being choked out a little bit, like you're not feeling as free to express yourself as you would like, or maybe you feel like you should be doing. Like, just feels like maybe you just have this idea of what it is supposed to look like, and it's not able to do that right now. So it feels kind of restrictive or constrictive too, kind of closing off that wind right there. I'm also kind of seeing that maybe there's some life experiences in there that are also just kind of bringing a little bit of, whoa, I just knocked my computer. But also bringing a little bit of feeling like you're pulling your voice back a bit, or trying to shrink it to be nice, to be more appealing to people, whatever that may be. And especially with those discernment things in your eyes, you may actually be called to speak more boldly and speak more fire through your mouth. It definitely feels like it's got some of this heart and soul and passion. It just wants to, like, come on out. So those are the two areas that I see. And then just your heart energy, and it definitely expands out to the arms. It's like your heart energy just feeds the energy of the arms, where it's very much like, hey, I want to help you, I want to hug you. Like, it's just like this helping people, but as it comes out from your heart to your hands, let me show you. Like, it's a little bit more active. So anyway, let us know how that resonated.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know. Okay, so next up, we've got another person that has written in. Um, so this is anonymous. She says she's been told by her Reiki teachers that the different sensations in her hands are adversarial or from the adversary. Are they? And because of this, my foundation has been shaken with energy work. What do I do? How does she move forward?
Okay, I'm going to look at your specific energy in your hands. This question's a great one, but it's almost like 3 levels deep. Like I've got like this answer, and then there's like another answer and another answer, and like it really goes like layers deep on this for different things here. So um, I'm not seeing the like when I look at your hands right now, I actually see a lot of I see light and energy, but it comes down through like there's a lot of like physical energy that I see moving through you. So I wouldn't doubt if you've got like some um, clairsentience, which is like, you know, your spiritual sense with using your body and feeling it. Also, you might even have something like clairtangency, which is your clear touch, that when you touch something, you kind of pick up more information from it. So it just feels like just there's a lot of receptors there in your hands. There's also something too, like I just want to also address like the foundation being shaken. Um, because this is going to sound weird. That's going to sound real weird. Okay, just send in love. Don't shoot the messenger here. But the message that's kind of coming through is good. Let it be shaken. Let your foundation shake. Like, let it crack. Let it ask questions and then get new answers and build on a stronger foundation. I don't know why, man. That is just what came. I had no one like when I first read that. That is not what I was going to answer when I was saying levels deep. But for some reason, that feels very specific for you. Like, yeah, good. Let it be shaken, and ask. And because that is the only way that you can truly find answers. You can't put your faith in anyone else. You can't put your faith in these people that are teaching you clearly. Like, I'm not seeing the adversarial. There is something like I really value everyone's experiences, and I believe that especially with the way that I see all the light and strands and everything, like we really do have like a scale of light. And like if you go all on this side, it's 100%. It's 100% God, like pure, like the most divine. And then at 0, it's totally void of that light, right? But anywhere in between, it's like a scale. It's a slider scale. And so here on our earthly experience, we're these mortal beings learning and growing and trying to figure out, like, every choice we make is somewhere on that slider scale. Every thought we think, every feeling we feel, our personal choices are all on that slider scale. And it's like not thinking of a light switch, like it's an on and off, like I'm good or bad. If this is true, then this must be bad. Like try to really avoid some of those those polarity kind of thoughts in your head, because then that can lead to shutting off a lot of truth and even learning opportunities. It can lead you feeling like shamed and that you're not a good person. Like there's so many dangerous things about thinking of things in that on off kind of mentality. So what you can look at here, and I'm not saying there's not good, evil, like obviously there's these things, but our experience on earth is for us to learn and experience and to grow and to choose. And once we learn, it's as if we're raising up. And I've talked about the glory, like receiving more and more light and glory as you learn, experience, and choose good things. And so sometimes, and for me, like Reiki is one of those things, there may be like a bunch of light and healing awesomeness in it. But for me, like when I looked at Reiki, I'm going to be really honest, in the very background, I saw a little ribbon of darkness moving through the background. So I was like, okay, so there's a bunch of light, but there's also this ribbon of darkness. I don't do Reiki, but I know some people who have had like the most spiritual, profound experiences. And so it's like, I'm not going to judge a person's experience, but what I think of it as is that each person is going up their scale of light and they're gathering Like perhaps, a certain thing could have a level of light that you needed. So this Reiki experience, you probably had a lot of light, and then maybe you're ready to move on. And now it's time to like look at what is next. Where is my foundation? Because you can't put your foundation in these Reiki teachers or anything else, right? Also, too, just to bring this to an awareness for everyone, with awakenings, because we all have, like, this is just such a perfect question. I'm so grateful that you asked this, Anonymous, but so grateful you asked this, because we all go through these types of experiences in an awakening. It's and just even thinking of it like an awakening, it's like, oh, I'm awakened to these new possibilities, to these new experiences, maybe your new gifts, whatever's opening up to you. And it honestly, it feels like if you've been in a dark room and all of a sudden you come in and the lights get turned on, it's like, oh, it's all turned on. But yet, if you were to stay in that room, is that the highest level of light? No, you can go out, and maybe you go outside in the bright sunlight and it's even brighter. Like, this is what I'm talking about, scale of light. You move up and up and up and up. And so this, you could take all of this experience, extrapolate the light that you learned and you gained from it. And then now it's time to go into the next area. It's time to go into another room that's even brighter with more sunshine coming down into the window. And I'm telling you, like, this happens across the board. I mean, this is hundreds of people over a decade watching this pattern of people. They usually go through a moment where they do start questioning everything. It's like, what is this? Is this what I know? What's true? What's not true? Is this? And the key, and I'm going to just share kind of my personal experience with this. When this was really happening to me, and I had a lot of friends going through it at the same time. It's usually how it works for me. It's like when I'm going through something, and then all of a sudden I get like a bunch of clients coming to me, or I have a bunch of friends going through the same thing, so I can learn patterns. And at this particular time when I was going through it, I started to see, I was like, why are all these people that are supposedly like awake and experiencing so much light and amazingness, why are they all of a sudden struggling so much? And why are they claiming all this adversarial stuff all the time? And, oh my gosh, I'm getting attacked by the adversary here and over here. And, oh, like just labeling so much with adversarial. I was like, what is going on with this? And I'm not going to take too long. There was just multiple things teaching me around this time and experiences. But the bottom line is that there is a time that you have to take your eyes off of the darkness and only focus on the light. So for me, it was taking my eyes. If I thought of Peter walking out to the Savior on the water, and it's the moment that he looked down into the water, he started sinking. But it was like when he kept his eyes on Christ, he was able to walk on the water. And that's what it's talking about. It's that when you keep your eyes focused on a true foundation that cannot be moved, then these other things can't shake you. They don't shake you anymore. So the fact that you're being shaken just means that you're clearing up some foundation strands. You got to realign them. It's if you're going to be building a house, you don't want to put it on a lake bed where it's like water and sand, it's all shifty. You want to put it somewhere stable and firm that can withstand. And so same kind of principle here is just, it's time to realign, let go, release think it like, hey, these are great experiences. I learned a lot. And what's next? What's next on your journey? You got that level of light that you were supposed to achieve. It doesn't necessarily mean you were bad or deceived or anything like that. It just means, okay, got my little pieces, and what's the next level of light for me to achieve? And where is it? What's the next breadcrumb trail or person to learn from or book to read or of course, like go to your prayer and meditation and find out like what is the next answer for you? Where are your foundations? A little bit rocky. And this is just kind of the last thing is that I feel like I just got to mention this, but so some of these levels of light and truths that a lot of places teach, I see it like really like it just goes endless. There's a lot of light, a lot of information, but it's like, I call this like level, it's just kind of a place that like people with awakening go. It's just, there's so many options. It's a very chatty, talkative level or realm. There's spirits that are chatting. There's experiences. There's this person. There's this person. There's these experiences. There's things on the other side that are trying to just teach you and get all excited to teach you. So because of that, there's a lot of vast information, and some of it could all be true in some way, but it's just levels of truth or levels of light. And so when you just sometimes keep your head in that place and you keep looking and seeking for answers, it really is like an insatiable place to go. Like you're like, I'm ever seeking, but never. There's a scripture in James that talks about that. It's like, I'm ever seeking, but not finding that satisfaction, not finding my answers. And if you're ever feeling that, then it's just time to pull your head out of the water and go, poof. I'm not even going to look for answers in there anymore. It's just, woo, it's never ending. You feel like you're like, can't breathe. And it's just going to keep you on an endless, breadcrumb trail that doesn't lead to anything. And then you just take your head out and you just realign and focus and keep your eyes on your true foundation. And then all of a sudden, all those other things just dissipate. And you know that all those possibilities are still there. And if you've got to get some information from it, you can kind of put your head back in and snorkel in, but then you come back out. And it keeps you super grounded when you're grounded in that place and seeking, not having to seek for answers in all those places anymore, but just pulling in and keeping your eyes on it. So that was a really long answer, but it felt like it was for more than just you. And I'm really grateful that you asked it.
Yes, thank you. We have another anonymous. I've been told that I will see my problems before they occur. This is a lot shorter than what was originally sent to me as far as the anonymous person, right? Basically, someone with some gifts told her this, okay? And she says, I feel like it's more of a knowing than a seeing. How can I develop this gift? Is this gift so I can be prepared?
Okay, so when I look at that gift, to develop it, honestly, I feel like it's being held back a bit by your fear of the problems. Like, oh, if I know that they're there, then, oh, the problems are coming. Like, I feel like there's a little bit too much worry and thinking about the problems that are going to prevent knowing them. It's like the fear could be like a little block on knowing them. So I would definitely just kind of evaluate that and kind of look at, why is it a gift to know those things? How can you not be afraid of the problems? How can you see the higher lessons and the higher good? And I feel like you're doing a good job at that already, but it feels like you could level up even more, like just next level faith and next level just ability to put problems in its perspective and to really see the value and have gratitude for those problems. And then obviously it's to be prepared. That's definitely one way to look at it, but it also feels like it's not just for you. Our gifts are definitely there to serve other people as well. So how can you serve as a warning or a voice of preparation for others? Or maybe not just preparation, but also to avoid certain things? Can it be a voice of warning and caution? And when it's delivered from a place of love, then the other person tends to receive it better. So you could be like, hey, you know what? I just had this impression, or hey, how are you doing? And just put it in a way that they can even listen to it and avoid certain things. So yeah, I hope that helps. It's a beautiful gift. I can see how it could do a lot of good in this world.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, thank you for asking that question. Okay, let's move to Amber. I would love to hear about any gifts I may be hiding. Thank you.
Amber, I see it through your mouth. There's some hidden gifts there that, or maybe just untapped. I actually feel like you kind of know that they're there, but you're just not. Or not even that you're not doing, but just maybe you don't know how or have a place to lean into expressing information through there. I do feel like there's like a spiritual sense. Like when we talk about spiritual senses, there's 10 of them. And one of them is clear expression, or your clear expression. And I feel like you may have that gift, but also too, when you speak, it will show up in that aspect too. So it's basically, that looks like when it comes to the mouth, This happens to me sometimes where I just open my mouth, and as something's coming out, I'm as shocked as everyone else. It's just like just flowing through, and I'm like, oh wow, because it's just that clear channel where things are coming through the mouth and through the voice, and you like insights and analogies or whatever. It's truth being spoken, knowing exactly the right words to say to somebody, and it's just like it's not even your own words because it's just such a pure, open, clear channel. So I feel like that's one of the gifts that is hiding. That's definitely the loudest, and I feel like that's also too kind of a key gift that as you start speaking more, it's going to unlock. And as you start using all of your dominant ones more, and in this one more, then it feels like there's more gifts behind that, but this one has to start to be activated first. It's like this is a motor and a place to work through with the other stuff that you could be receiving. So good question.
Yeah, let us know how that's resonating for you, Amber, and thanks for asking. Okay, Sandy. Sandy's back. Remember Sandy?
Hi, Sandy.
Just the telenovela from a few weeks ago.
Yes.
She says, "Do you see me finding a new job very soon, please? I'm at a temp job in my field since July 2019. Thanks."
Okay, first and foremost, it's just the emotions around finding a job are a little loud. Meaning just like I can just feel the emotions behind you leaving this job. And it, in a way, it's like the emotions are, when I say loud, it's just that they're big. And so it's creating a little bit of a cloud or a fuzz around getting a new job. So I would even just recommend honoring those emotions, being okay with them, the emotions. Like if it's a temp job, then, but you've been there clearly a long time. So then that's also too a little bit of a permanence feel, like you've had a home there, but yet it wasn't a home. Like you were just a temporary person, like a temporary renter on that home. And so just to acknowledge that even though it was a temporary, there might be some of those feelings there. Also too, I see some beliefs and some fears around no one will want me. Feeling like, will they see what I have to offer? Feeling like you may like to just be a little bit more quiet, and feeling like, are they going to be able to hear me and see my value and know what I can bring? Feelings of unwanted or maybe rejection that you've had before is kind of playing in here. So I would do some checking in on some of those beliefs, try to identify them, work through them, choose into new ones. And when I say choose into a new belief, sometimes like a clearing a belief can be as sometimes there's emotion, sometimes there's other things connected that you got to like clear beliefs. But honestly, to change a belief can be as simple as like identifying it, choose into what you are choosing to create. Like, okay, this one, I don't like this one, but I do like this, and this is what I'm creating. So like beliefs of like, I have amazing things to offer. People are going to love to have me work for them, whatever those kind of new beliefs are. And it's not just a one-time thing. Like sometimes we think, oh, those silly affirmations or whatever. It's like, no, these are new choices, new behaviors that you're going to opt in. And so then how does a person act? How does a person behave when they believe that everyone's going to want to hire them and they have a lot to offer? Okay. They behave differently. They are differently. They make different choices. They have different body language. So try to embody that new one and do it consistent enough. If you catch your thoughts slipping, you course correct it. You add more intensity, you add more emotion, you add more repetition, like rewiring and retraining our brain and implementing these new belief systems can be as simple as integrating a new habit and way of being. And that's what I mean. Like when I say choosing into it, it's not just as simple, like I choose it, it's done. It's like, no, you choose it and there's some work. So I would say you just own yourself, you own your gifts, you own your amazingness, and you step into it and you claim it. You go and claim that new job. You may not even know what it is yet, but you can claim it now. You can create it in your mind. Like, how do you want to feel? How does your new job feel? How do you enjoy it? What are you doing? Like, what field do you like? How do you like generate it, create it, feel it, become it, and choose into it and behave like you are the one that has already got that job. And those are some of the keys to opening up a job. I feel like you could get a job. Like the job is not necessarily a thing, but a job that you love and that you're valued there. That's where I feel like you would really like to go. So I say go there, and then hopefully those tools can help you to find that and to embody it. So good luck with that. I'm sending love during that transition.
Definitely. Let us know how that resonated too, Sandy. Okay, we have Darryl, and he says, I'm from South Africa. My mom had spiritual gifts, and now that she's passed away, I'm finding myself with the same spiritual gifts that she has. Is it possible that she's passed it on to me with her passing?
Darryl, first of all, welcome from South Africa. That is amazing. I'm so excited to have you here. I love the internet, and we can be worldwide because of it. So welcome. So happy you're here. Yes, actually, to just kind of say, like, to answer your question, I have definitely, in all this time, and even as a child, I've always seen these different spiritual gifts that can be passed down in generations and lineage. So, like, for example, my father, and through my dad's line and his family, and even to like aunts and uncles and my grandparents, and like through, like, I can almost trace through that line, we all had a sensitivity to seeing spirits and seeing like ancestors and loved ones who have passed on the other side. We've had experiences where we've seen them. So I had them as a little girl, like my dad would have them, he'd hear them sometimes. We just had that. And it just was traced all the way through this line. And I definitely have inherited that. And so, like, that's my experience, but then also seeing all these other people, they're absolutely like these gifts and these spiritual, it's like a spiritual family gift through the family. And my guess is that your mother is with you. Sending love to you through that as well. Like I've lost my dad, and I've noticed too that when I sense him more, then it's amplified. So the fact that yours are amplifying now tells me that she's probably near you and probably helping you to learn how to use them. You've always had them, but she's helping to amplify, and so you can learn what to do with them next. And this is the time, like this, so many of these gifts are waking up on the planet. Like this is just the era that we live in. And they are God-given. There's so many God-given, beautiful gifts. And so, yeah, I love this. This is a testament. Your mom loves you, and she's probably with you right there and helping you to open them up even more. And they've just maybe been more dormant. So
he says, thanks. Yeah. Let us know any other things that you got out of that. Darryl, thank you so much. It's good to know we're all the way at the tip of the continent of Africa. So pretty cool. Okay. So next up, Ginger. She says, I always feel like I don't matter or I'm not seen around my family. I feel like they disrespect me. I had a nightmare about it too.
So Ginger, when I look at what's going on with you, I see a little bit of just, I want to say, like an energetic power struggle where you know who you are, like you just want to just express who you are and just be who you are, and maybe that it's not who your family wants you to be. So it's like a little container. Like if they think that you're a little square, but you're round, it's like they keep trying to put you back into this, and you're like, no, here's who I am. And so I see a little bit of that kind of power struggle between your identity and who they are trying to tell you to be. Some of the ways that I can see being able to be seen, it's an interesting path. Like sometimes we think we have to do more. We have to speak up louder. We have to, like be louder, be seen more in order to be seen. And honestly, sometimes, and especially I'm seeing in this situation, the answer might actually be to just let go. Let go of, why do you need them to see you? Why is it so important to you? And I would say release that. Like their opinions, their things really doesn't matter. It's not, like that little quote, like other people's opinions are what is that like? What other people think of me is none of my business or something like that. It's kind of like that type of thing. But it can be more tricky because it's family, it's people you care about. So I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not saying that you have to like reject them and the relationship. It's just you pulling at it's like you've got this little cord from you and it goes over to them and it's like a little beggar cup. And you're like, please give me your approval. Please give me your approval so that I can be happy. And so instead it's just pulling that little cord back, that little beggar cord and going, not that you're a beggar, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. We all have them. I had some big ones on this, like need for approval, need to have, fear of rejection. Like there was so much there. So I'm not, it's all of us have this, but, or have things like this. But anyway, I'd say pull it back in and just go, you know what? No, like I got it myself. I don't have to be seen. I know who I am. In fact, when you no longer have that need, then you feel fine and you feel seen anyway. The other thing that I would even recommend is where else are you not being seen? So like is it because you have something deep inside you that you're meant to be seen? Are you meant to speak, teach, write a book? Like, is there something that you're supposed to be seen and you're supposed to be more visible about that maybe you're not visible about yet? This is not to make you feel guilty, like, oh yeah, I'm not there yet. But this is like a side effect of that. Like your subconscious knows, I know I'm supposed to be seen. I can feel it inside me. I've got some big things and I'm supposed to be seen. And then when it's like, just like, so you have that already, like a desire and maybe even a wound, but it's like a little guitar string of your heart. And then you get near a family gathering and you're like, oh, they don't see me. And it starts thumbing the guitar string of that wound. And I was like, boom, like strumming it. It's like, ow, ow, ow. They're not seeing me. So it's this thing is twofold. One, where can you be seen? Where are you not being visible? How can you do it more? And can you just release the need to have them give it to you? Can you self-generate and know that it's just like, so it's kind of the pearls before swines. You don't have to show them that. If they're not going to value it, then they're not the people that are supposed to see it. And what's interesting about this is most of the time, the moment that you release that need energy and you just pull it back in and you just are, and you just exude your light and you exude who you are on every essence and every layer and level, the moment you do that, all of a sudden you become more seen. And by not even saying a word, you could just be sitting there in a room exuding your light, and all of a sudden people are gonna be like, look at Ginger over there. Let me go over and let me talk to her and let me listen to what she's saying and value her sensitivity. Like, no, don't wait on them. I would release the need completely. I would just say, build you in your light so much that you don't even need it. And then the moment you don't need it anymore is the moment that it will probably show up. So it's a really weird thing. It really has nothing to do with them. It's just find places in yourself to heal, to be visible where you can, and to just release the need for anyone to see you. You just be seen. Like you see yourself. You unleash yourself to the fullness of who you are. Because that's like the root of the real issue here is like, if you feel like you're not being seen, it's because you're not, like maybe there's something that you're not fully expressing, I have turned since. Yeah. So open up the fullness of who you are, your light, your vibrancy, your love, your just who you are, just let it out. And then all of a sudden it's amazing how it doesn't even matter. You don't need to be seen, but you will be seen because you will have that essence and glow. So I hope that helps.
Yes.
Great question.
Great question, Ginger. All right. Well, that's all we have for today. If you received an answer, consider paying it forward and share this post on your profile, or you can share it in Messenger. You can tag friends in the feed. And also you could invite people to like the page. So we're so grateful. I saw a few people sharing this post already. So it's wonderful to see that engagement and that spirit of sharing. So we're grateful for you, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain on our Intuition Gym Facebook page or YouTube channel. All right. See you then.
Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.